Namaste. Good to see you here. Good to have you here. I haven't recorded a class in English for a really long time, and I thought it might be a good idea to, keep my English up, keep on practicing, to also teach in English while recording a video. And today's session is, let me talk about it, in a picture, a really nice picture. A friend of mine, also a yoga teacher, the idea, she gave it to me this morning. So picture yourself, you're having a cup in your hand, a cup, and you just get some water out of a river or maybe a lake. And when you look at the water in the cup, the tendency is that the water isn't clear. So there's mud, there are stones, so you just cannot see through the water. It's kind of muddy. And then just put it somewhere and let it sit for a moment. Let it settle. Let it be still. And you can watch piece by piece that the mud and the stones and all the other dirt is settling down to the ground. And at one point you can see clear again. You can see the water clears up. You stir it again. There's the mud back. And it's the same with our life. If we are constantly going, running, doing, you're getting the idea. There's no time to settle. There's no time for all this mud to settle down so we can get a chance to see clear again, to really listen to ourselves. And this is why I decided to record today's practice. You need some props. And let's see, just see what you have at home. So a blanket, you need a blanket. Whatever blanket is, we're going to roll it up. And you're going to need a bolster. I know not all of you have a yoga bolster at home. Or you maybe have something that's a little bit more round. Play with what you have at home. You may have a really sturdy cushion, you're sleeping or as a decoration in your bed. You maybe even can use 2 pillows, 2 cushions. You can use, sometimes from your couch, the big pillows you're leaning against. I don't know if they're a special word in English, but you can take them off your couch and you can use one of those pillows. So see what you have. We're going to rest our body on this bolster, on the couch cushion, or a bed pillow. Or maybe you stack up a couple of blankets. But just see what you have at home. So you don't want to have it too soft. There should be a little bit of support. And then I also have, I have this really nice eye cover. I love it because it has a strap around my head, so I'll never forget it. I'm not going to use it today because I want to check the time while recording. But if you don't have anything to cover your eyes, you can use a scarf. You maybe have a scarf. There are days where it's a little bit more windy, a little colder. And you just can use a scarf and place it over your eyes. Good. And then let's start with rolling up the blanket so we don't have to do it later in class. So I have my blanket folded once and the open part is facing down. And then I'm folding my blanket again. And this is the closed part, a little bit wider than my shoulders. I'm placing it down on the floor. Iron it out, nice. Fold it in, the length of your hands. And then I'm making a nice roll. And you already can place it at the end of your yoga mat, because this is going to be for our feet later. Then you're going to use whatever you decided to use. If you have a few blankets, you can see this is roundabout, it's the length of my hand, the height. So you can play with maybe start with 2 blankets. Maybe you're going to use 3 or 4. Really see how it feels in your body. When you're resting, you're not looking for a stretch, you're looking for an opening. When we're getting into the pose, I'm taking care of the time. You close your eyes, cover your eyes. If it's cold wherever you are, take an additional blanket to cover yourself up. And after the time, when it's time to change, to get out of the pose, you hear this little tone playing, and then I'm guiding you out of the pose. Let's start with a back bend. I'm going to sit with my back facing the support. And I'm so sorry we have to use the blanket one more time, so please unroll your blanket. My fault, I'm sorry. So this is life, this happens. So what you're going to do, you want to use the blanket just to put it on your knees. It's a little easier on the back bend to keep your knees here in place, and so the rest of the body doesn't have to work so hard. Think about the bottom part of your shoulder blades. Now this top part of whatever support you're using is going to be aligned with the bottom part, the tips of your shoulder blades. So you slowly come down, and you already can feel when you go a little bit back and down if you're in the right place. And if the support is a little higher, you maybe have to scooch back a little bit. You want to make sure that your bottom ribs, the last 3 to 4 bottom ribs on your back, that they are supported. And you want to make sure that the bottom part of your neck, where your upper spine goes into your thoracic spine, your cervical spine into your thoracic, that this part is off the floor. Your nose is kind of pointing more or less straight up to the ceiling. And you take whatever you're using to cover your eyes. Take a deep breath and just settle into the pose. You open your arms out to the side. The blanket is here to support your legs, to hold your legs. You turn your heels out a little, your toes in a little. And if your knees touch, you can bring your inner knees together. And it feels like, you're opening yourself up over the support. So my tailbone is dipping a little bit, and my upper part here, my chest is opening. This solar plexus here, the upper belly area is really nice, wide and open. Turn your arms so that you're on the little pinky side of your hands. And really don't bring your arms too close to the body. Really have some opening here so your armpits are open and your body can breathe. Taking another deep inhale and exhale. Make sure there is a feeling of opening your body, not stretching. And if it's too intense, just lessen on the support. Pause, take off one blanket, get another pillow. Just lower the support so you feel there's an opening and not a stretching happening. The remaining of the time here in this pose, I'm going to be silent now. Allow your dust, your mud, your everything to settle, to ground. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Use your feet and push your feet down and tuck your tailbone a little bit, engage your core. So you can just push yourself a little bit back towards your head. Walk your feet in. You may want to lift your hips a little and you want to push the support down so it's underneath your sacrum just for a moment. And then you either scooch back further or you just lift your hips again and just take the support out and just rest your legs for a moment. If it's blankets, sometimes it's a little bit harder to handle, so it's easier to move your body back. Notice how your back feels. Notice how your mind feels and how the first mud, dust, stones slowly starts to settle. Take your time to bend your legs. You can place it on the support and just want to turn over to one side. And slowly come up. Coming into a side bend next. So I think we're going to use the blanket here one more time. So rolling it up later. I'm going to folding the blanket so I'm having a little support for my head. I really try to fold it and also kind of want to have the idea that you're filling up the space, this corner here, shoulder and head. And you're going to place this right here. And we're facing the left side of the body to the bolster. And you slowly come down, resting on the support. Don't go up too far that your butt is all the way up in the air. You still can feel that you have your butt is on the floor. And then you take the bottom arm straight out in front of you and take the pillow and just really push it here so it's really nicely touching to the top of your shoulder. And you don't want to have the shoulder all the way underneath your body. It's like you're reaching forward a little bit. So it's kind of leaning a little bit more towards the outer edge of your scapula. If you have an eye cover, it's harder to put it on your face. But what's nice here, you can either use and just place it on your ear. Or if you have a scarf, you can place it on your eyes and even on your ear. The hand is resting either in front of you, the top hand, or if you like a little bit more opening, not stretching, you can rest your arm, the upper arm, just in front of your right ear. Or you can have your arm here along your side, bend. So see what works best for this top shoulder. My knees are bent in front of me and my feet are kind of aligned with my hips. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Settle into the pose. Close your eyes. See what works for you. Maybe you need a few moments, a few different tries until you settle for a position for the top arm. Notice your neck is long, so you're not gazing up or you're not leaning your head forward. You want to keep your head in one line with your spine. And notice that you're having a nice pressure here on your side body, but it's not too much. Notice your breathing in the right side of your body, this right side that's facing up to the ceiling. Notice the inhalation, how the ribcage expands and how it settles with the exhalation. And the settling is exactly what we're going to do in the silence and the stillness. We want to give our cup a again the time to settle all the dust, all the mud, and all the stones. I'm here, I'm checking the time. You hear the sound of my ball again when it's time to move on. Slowly come back. If you have your eyes covered, take away what you're using and keep your eyes closed for a moment. Slowly lean. If your arm is still above your head, bring it slowly back. Really, really, really slowly. And I want you to lean forward a little bit, tuck your chin, and find your way onto your hands and knees. Just for a moment, come onto your hands and knees. Keep your eyes closed and do a few cat and cows, rounding and arching your spine. one more time. You just turn around. I'm taking my props so I'm not facing my back to you. Want to now placing the right side on the support and the left side facing up to the ceiling. So make sure that you have the space for your shoulder in between the support and the blanket. If you're using a scarf, take your scarf so you can grab it and slowly come down. Make sure that you're not being so far up that your hips are off the floor. Take the support, really snug it in so you really can feel your head is supported. And again, make sure you're not tilting your head forward or lifting it up so you have your head in a really nice aligned position with your spine. Knees are a little bit in front of the body, hips are more or less in one line, feet are more or less in one line with your hips. And again, this bottom shoulder is not underneath your body. You just want to pull it a little bit forward. So the weight is a little bit more towards the outer edge of your scapula. But you're still being here on your side. And then decide, do you want to bring your arm up? Is this okay for your shoulder? Or want to bring your arm alongside your body? Or may you bend the elbow and have your hand resting on your upper belly. Choose what works for you and always have in mind you're not looking for a stretch. You're looking for an opening where your dust, your stones, your stress can settle. And you just get a sneak peek of what's truly going on in your life, inside your body. Notice your breath in the left side of your body. This left side that's facing up to the ceiling now. Feel the ribcage expanding with your inhalation. And settling down into the support with your exhalation. And there's maybe another wiggling back and forth, so you're really feeling comfortable here lying on your side. Your eyes are covered one way or another, maybe even your ear. And remember, it's pretty warm here where I am, but take the time to cover yourself up. Put socks on, so you're really feeling nice and warm. And then let's tune into the stillness. Allow everything to settle. Inhale. Slowly exhale. Keep your eyes open. Move slowly. Think about the transitioning slowly into all fours, like as a part of your practice. So take off what you maybe were using to cover your eyes. Slowly start to lean forward. See wherever you want to place this hand to slowly, very slowly get up and tuck your chin and come back into all fours. Close your eyes and just do a few cat and cows. It's not about going into the deepest rounding and arching. It's about feeling the movement of your spine. One more time in each direction. And slowly come to a seat. And we rolled the blanket before. So let's say the first rolling was a test run. So now we're going to do it again. So you're opening up your blanket. You place it in front of you. Fold it in and just roll the blanket up. This is going to support the top of your feet. You take the support and the top of your sacrum and the rest of your body now is resting on the support. Your knees are going to be on the floor, top of your feet on the roll. We're going to turn the head one way and then we're going to turn the head the other way. If at any point turning the head feels uncomfortable, allow yourself to place your hands underneath your forehead and take a break here in between turning the head. But I will remind you when it's time to turn your head. Sit there and have the top of your feet on the rolled blanket. Widen your knees a little bit more so you have space for support. You can place it in between your knees. And you just slowly come here and rest the top of your pubic bone on the support. So the rest of your head can also be here on the support. So you maybe have to snuggle around a little bit. Pushing back. Maybe even getting some extra blankets. And notice this here is also very nice. If you have a scarf, you can just, cover your whole head. You feel that this little arch, where the top of your foot goes over into the lower leg, that this part is on the blanket. So your toes may slightly touch the floor, then maybe not. And I just have my arms here. I don't want to reach my arms all the way up because then I'm lifting my shoulders. So I kind of want to find a way where my shoulders stay relaxed. Maybe even spreading the elbows a little bit out to the side. Some of my students, they really like to have the arms back. I don't like this hanging sensation in my shoulders. I'm kind of like more to even maybe interlacing my fingers. But I really want to be aware that I'm not lifting my shoulders. And again, you don't want to tilt your head forward. So really, you're resting just in front of your ear. Just breathe in and out. Remember, placing the forehead here on your hands is also an option. Or maybe using a pillow for your forehead and resting that way.
When it's time to turn your head, you will hear the sound of my ball again. But for now, settle in. If your yoga mat is really hard, sometimes an additional blanket underneath the knees can be really nice. Or maybe a bath towel. Notice the breathing in your back body. I can feel that the bolster is just slightly above the edge of my pubic bone, right in between my two ASIS joints, my hip points at the front of my body. I also like to turn my legs in a little bit, a slight internal rotation. So my heels turn out a little, my toes point in a little. It's more relaxing in my lower back. And just keep following your breath. Remember where your awareness goes, the energy follows. And notice your breath. And let's tune into settling the dust, settling the stress. turn the head now, I like to place my hands underneath my shoulders so I can give myself a very gentle lift here to tuck my chin and very slowly turn my head the other way. And then come down, and then again playing with a position for my arms where I'm not lifting my shoulders up so I can relax my shoulders. Remember, you want to have your head in one line with your spine, not tilting your head forward. Just resting just in front of your ear. And then settle back in. Shift your awareness to your back body. Feel your back body breathing. Where your awareness goes, your energy follows. Take your time. No need to rush. I'm going to first all change now the position of the head. So bring your hands just closer to your shoulders. Use a little bit of effort to lift your head and just place your hands so you can place your forehead on your hands. You can stack your hands on top of each other so you have space for your nose. And tuck your chin and place your hands underneath your shoulders. Engage your core and slowly come back up. You can keep the top of your feet on the roll and just do a few cat and cows here. Your eyes closed. Rounding and arching. And then after a few rounds of cat and cows, you may want to slide back and come into a child's pose using the support, sinking back onto your heels. Or if you want to have a little bit of a bigger stretch, you may want to place your feet just in front of your blanket roll. Just push yourself a little bit back, like you're pushing your hands forward, and lift your hips up and place the heels on the blanket roll, and maybe mine is not touching. You don't want to reach with your forehead through the bolster, but maybe depends on the height of your bolster, and you can widen a little bit your down dog. You can have your forehead resting here on the support for a moment. So both variations, a child's pose or a down dog, this more supported ones, or maybe even a little bit more active one to make space for activity now in your body, to get back from stillness into your day. Wherever you are, stay there for one more inhale and exhale. And then slowly come down. Find your seat. Place your hands in front of your heart. Namaste.